Welcome back students to your online classes. Today we will discuss about the next topic of this chapter, that is water. Okay, you know that all the living organisms require or need water to live. Okay, and even when we were discussing about the air, I already told you that air and water, both of these are the basic things which a living organism need. Living organism includes plants and animals. Okay, even we use water for drinking, for various other household uh, chores, or we can say household activities like washing, bathing, cleaning, etc. The water that we use mainly, it will come from rivers, ponds, lakes and wells. All these are the sources of water. Okay, and that water which we get from all these sources, they contain dirt, mud, different type of sand and also germs, which makes the water impure or unfit for use. Okay, we can use this water sometimes for washing. Okay, but we do not or and even for cleaning also we can use that type of water, but we can't use this water for drink for drinking and cooking. So the substance means whatever substances which are present in the water which makes the water dirty or unfit for use, that substances are known as impurities. That means the water which we get from the different sources, different natural sources, they contain some substances which makes the water impure or dirty. Okay, that we cannot use this water. Okay, so that substances which make impure or dirty water, they are called impurities. That means impurities are present in the water, and if we want to use that water, we need to remove that impurities. Okay, so the impurities which are present in the water, the substances which makes the water impure, that are of two types. One is soluble impurities. Soluble means which can dissolve. Okay, which can easily dissolve in water. Okay, so the soluble impurities are those which can dissolve in water. Okay, whereas the next one is insoluble impurities which do not dissolve in water. Okay, these insoluble impurities do not dissolve in water. They if we will not disturb the water, then they will remain settled down at the bottom of the beaker or at the bottom of the water. Okay, so the soluble impurities can dissolve in water, whereas the insoluble impurities do not dissolve or mix in water. It will remain suspended, and even you can easily see these insoluble impurities in the water. Okay, example, some basic means like common insoluble impurities are sand and mud. You can easily identify that sand and mud or some type of gravels or small stones are present, or dried leaves are present in the water, which makes the water impure. Okay, so if we want to use this water, we need to make the water pure. We need to remove these impurities. Okay, so there are some different methods to remove the impurities. So first of all, we will learn about the methods which are helpful in removing insoluble impurities from water. Okay, first of all, we will learn about the methods which are used to remove the insoluble impurities. In this, the first one is sedimentation and decantation. This method is used to remove the insoluble impurities from the water. So here I have drawn a diagram. This one is a setup, or I can say these here in this you need a muddy water. Muddy water, that means this water contains mud, and you can easily see that this water is not pure because it contains mud. Now, how you will separate, how you will remove the mud which is present in the water? So for this we will do something. So first of all, what we have to do in this method of sedimentation and decantation, we will make this water undisturbed. This muddy water will remain undisturbed, means we will not touch this, we will not stir it. Okay, the water should remain undisturbed for some time. Okay, then after some time you will see that the insoluble impurities, as the impurities which are present in this water, they are insoluble, they do not mix in water, or even we can easily see this because the soluble impurities are those which we cannot see in water, but insoluble impurities can be easily visible. So that muddy water will remain undisturbed for some time, and after some time we will see that the impurities get settled down at the bottom of the beaker. Okay, so these insoluble impurities which get settled down, they are known as sediments, and as they are known as sediments because they get settled down at the bottom, on the basis of that this process name is sedimentation, because under this sedimentation the insoluble impurities get settled down at the bottom of the beaker. Okay, now what happens, the impurities will get settled down and the pure clean water will remain on the upper side of this sediment. Okay, the clean water will remain here. Now how you will separate this sediment and the clean water? By the method of decantation. So always in this method, sedimentation and decantation takes place simultaneously. First of all, sedimentation process will be there, and afterwards we have to decant the clean water. So for the decantation process, we need another beaker, okay, another container in which we will pour down the clean water. Okay, so for that we will slowly pour out the clean water in a separate container, and for this we need a, I can say this is a rod. Okay, and with the help of this rod we will pour down this clean water without disturbing this sediments. Okay, we will not disturb this sediment, we will only pour down the clean water, and once the clean water will be poured out into the another container, we will just left that sediments in that beaker only, and by this method we will get the clean water. We will be able to remove the insoluble impurities in the form of sediments. So this is how sedimentation and decantation process takes place. Now students, sometimes what happens in this clean water, some minute particles of dust or mud or sand will remain suspended. Okay, means till now also sometimes this clean water will not become completely clean. So to improve the rate of sedimentation, so that all the muddy particles, all the sand particles will get settled down, for this we will do something, and for that we will improve the rate of sedimentation by adding some chemicals. Okay, and how? This chemical name is alum. In Hindi, this alum is known as fitkari. It is light yellow crystal stone which should be tied with a thread and then rolled in this muddy water. Okay, and then what happens, this alum will make these mud particles heavier. Okay, and then as the mud particles become heavier, they will fastly settle down at the bottom of the beaker. Okay, that means the rate of sedimentation has been increased. वो जल्दी जल्दी होने लगेगा जो sedimentation है वो, और जब अपन इसको एलम को इसके अंदर स्टिर करेंगे, otherwise वो थोड़ा slow हो जाता है process. So this process is known as loading. What we call this process? This process is known as loading, in which we stir the alum in the muddy water to increase the rate of sedimentation. Okay, these alum particles will get attached themselves to the impurities which are present in this water and make these impurities heavier, which makes these impurities to be settled down faster, and will get the clean water faster. Okay, so this process is known as loading. Fine students, now next process is filtration. So students, the next method to remove the insoluble impurities from the water is filtration. Now what happens in this process? In the process of filtration, the impure water or the mixture of sand and water or the muddy water will be passed through the filter paper. Here in this funnel, this one is a glass funnel. In this funnel, a filter paper has been placed by making a cone of it. Okay, this filter paper is a special type of paper which do not allow the impurities to pass through it. It only allows the water to pass through it. Okay, and the impurities will remain there in this paper. Fine. So this filter, a cone will be made with the help of this filter paper, and then it will placed in this funnel. Okay, and with the help of this glass rod, again the mixture of sand and water, that is the impure water, will be poured down, and it will let the sand to be to remain there, and the clean water will be passed to the conical flask. There it is the clean water. Okay. So this is how the filtration process takes place. This cone is kept inside the funnel. Okay, and the water will seep through the filter paper. Seep through the filter paper means slowly and slowly the water, the clean water, the pure water will get deposited in the conical flask. Okay, and the impurities like sand or other some impurities will get collected in this filter paper. So this is how filtration takes place. This is the same process by which your mom also separates the tea leaves from the tea. Okay, when she prepares the tea and she separates the tea leaves with the help of a strainer. Okay, and only the liquid will get poured into the cups. That is also the same process, that is filtration. Okay, only the difference is that during the preparation of tea our mothers use strainers, and here we have used filter paper for separating the sand particles, because sand particles are so minute. So to separate that minute particles, that's tiny small particles, we need something that can retain that particles from the water. So for this we need filter paper. Okay students, so this is all for today. Hope you understood it.